Oh, I think they're doing a great job. A lot of them are.
Good afternoon, Dwayne. How are you?
Not too bad, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Radio Cayman's Talk Today with Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
But I do have some questions.
There are more questions than answers.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. If you're ready to talk, we're willing to listen.
Well, I really enjoy this program today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
May God bless every person.
Hey, good afternoon and welcome, and thank you for joining us here in this truly terrific Tuesday's edition of Talk Today. 8949-8037 or 1-800-534-8255. Stay tuned for Talk Today.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today, the Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program. We ask our listeners to avoid statements or comments which are abusive, derogatory, malicious, or defamatory. Do not use any indecent language or make any statement which is false or misleading. Email Talk Today at candw.ky or call 1-800-534-8255. Courtesy of Flow,
Cayman's #1 network that connects you to your world like never before.
Let your voice be heard. Once again, here's your host, Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, good afternoon and welcome back. 949-8037 or 1-800-534-8255. Let's have some open line. I don't see yet my scheduled guests, but if they come, they'll be here. If they don't, hey, just once they're in good cheer and health, hey, that's all that matters. We'll have open line until 1:30, it looks like. 1:30, Matt Brown, Rita Stevanovic, and others will join us in the studio. They have a comedy show opening in, I believe, this evening in East End. Tomorrow Northside, Thursday in Bordentown, and I believe, they're going to be in West P on Saturday, South Sound at the Dark Park on Sunday. But they'll tell us about that when they come in. But let's talk about whatever it is that you want to. So, this morning, Tuesday, the 11th of December, if my calendar is correct, I had a honest day, as I admitted to the individuals earlier. Forgot that I had scheduled this discussion. They were kind and considerate and certainly accommodating, but equally, they're very forgiving, because they said we had, scheduled this discussion a long time ago, and they were right. Now, the individuals, one was going to be traveling, for work. The other, he was going to be back in Cayman around about this time, so spend the Christmas and hopefully into the new year. And when they're here, we can have a chat. And now the idea, they reminded me of why we scheduled it. Wasn't just because of travel commitments of others or when one would be arriving, but hopefully some of the things that were going to be discussed would have come to pass. And one of the things was this whole issue with respect to the Georgetown landfill. What are we doing about our environment? Well, it's open line. I can share with you what they shared, but let's go to our phones when you call, and it's 949-8037. It's 1-800-534-TALK, 1-800-534-8255, or you can send us your thoughts on our WhatsApp, 925-3261, and certainly want to hear from you. We even have an email. I know I like emails. Some of you love it. Others say that's old, antiquated technology, but it works. Not because it gives you a way to go back and reference and track and pay attention to things maybe easier than some of the other trades that you see and some of the other means in which you comment. But Talk Today at Kandawaki is an email. I share with you, it don't always come through, and it certainly doesn't always come through immediately, but so it go. 949-8037, 1-800-534-8255, or you can indeed, send us a WhatsApp, 925-3261. So the discussion, the individuals were sharing that, where are we with respect to the landfill? And the fellow said it seems a couple of things. One, there's constant jockeying amongst different people, whether it's the potential players at the table who want to get some degree of it, whether it's the government trying to negotiate the best deal, the best way forward, or some of the other innuendo and allegations that we hear from time to time over the last couple of decades, in particular, the last few years. And he shared that this is an issue that needs to come to pass, and one that unfortunately has been too much of a political football for too long. And now when we're hearing a project that could be, approaching $500 million in some respects, is it really that costly? Is it just because of inflation, or is it because of emerging technology, or is it something else a little more nefarious, where everybody wants to get a little piece of the pie, so let's make the pie bigger and divvy it up some more, increase the cost, and that way as a country we pay more for less. 949-8037 or 1-800-534-8255. Let's go to our phones and take our calls. It is open line. Hey, good afternoon and welcome. You're on Talk Today.
Good afternoon. I'm just calling to report an incident that just happened a while ago at the spots where the ship is backed in today.
Mm-hmm.
This officer that was on duty, the dancing police officer, the bus that I was in, the driver was letting off some passengers, some tourists. But she did not know that she wasn't supposed to let them off on that side of the road. And the policeman was just cutting up some BC to the driver, and he was just behaving really bad.
Sounds unfortunate but uncharacteristic as well. But, if that's an issue, you certainly appreciate you raising us, but maybe bring it to the attention. But as they say, there are always more than one side of the story. With that, though, as we look at it, one perspective, what avenues do we have when we feel that public officials in particular are misbehaving? Two, there are some who have shared that the Cayman context is unlike in other parts of the world, not only the Caribbean, but other parts where people don't, in the Cayman context generally, voice such negativity, but increasingly so. And then the second thing is that where are we going to get to a point where we're not just accountable and responsible for actions, but we see as almost, as I call this point, sort of delves into what we were sharing about the issue with respect to the landfill. We expect that there should be a consideration for what is in the best interest of the country and its people, not just today, but if possible, a long time down the road, generations if possible. Those individuals earlier were sharing that we're looking at the landfill and it's almost as if there's this expectation that whatever is going to happen, it's probably going to be, good enough. We're going to make do with what's there, but somehow, because it's a government project, it's going to cost more than it should. There's going to be, not just overruns in costs and time delays, but allegations that, people are profiting under the table and all these things. He says, why is it that seems to be the accepted and expected norm? And then he says, worse, even before we get to that point, we couldn't have a discussion as to what is, potentially the best course of action, the best place to put the landfill. Are we even considering what to do with Little Cayman and Cayman Brac? He said that, yes, there have been some who have been suggesting for a very long time, just like they do in other parts of the world, even where money is being made. We take whatever's generated on Little Cayman and we bring it across, either to Cayman Brac or preferably to Grand Cayman, including what's generated on Cayman Brac, and we process it here. Do it in a way that shows respect for all three islands and not having to duplicate the equipment, the expense, the maintenance, the personnel, and having facilities on all three or even two of the three islands. But again, as he shared, we don't seem to be thinking sufficient or long term. The other perspective that they were sharing with the landfill is that there's probably a lot of excellent resources, knowledge and the like within the community. Is there a way that we can pool that resource and somehow get people on board without it again, costing tens of millions or hundreds of millions or whatever that cost is going to be eventually? It's going to be borne by all of us, not just immediately, but through taxes and taxes on our children and their children and maybe even their children. But there are going to be environmental considerations. As I listened to what was shared and looked at some examples of other landfills in North America, a couple of within Europe, you see facilities that are clean, that are efficiently operated, others that seem to be profit centers, not just because they're waste to energy component, not just because of the recycling and the other part, but the fact that increasingly there's this growing ethos within the populace to look very carefully at what is generated, what is sent to the landfill, and how it's even processed. Let's take your calls, 949-8837 or 1-800-534-8255. You can WhatsApp 925-3261. It's going to be open line. I want to take your calls and have you share your thoughts with us. So please, stay tuned for Talk Today.
Research shows that domestic violence increases during the holidays. Financial pressures, family pressures, work pressures, all of these play a part. So don't let the pressures of life take over. Choose to diffuse the spousal arguments before they begin. Most people experience their greatest anger when they feel dismissed, ignored, or misunderstood. Many people instinctively avoid naming their fears, and it's all too easy to mistake sadness and fear for anger. So if you feel like you're heading for an argument, or you find yourself getting angry, stop for a moment and ask yourself, am I reacting to a feeling of loss? Telling someone else what you're sad about or afraid of means that you're willing to let down your guard and be honest. And they may react by doing the same. A quote from ahealthyplace.com says this: "Remember, from every wound there is a scar, and every scar tells a story. A story that says, I have survived. Turn your wounds into wisdom."
The Stop the Slap campaign has been proudly sponsored by Cayman National Bank. Stop the slap. Stop the cycle. Stop the violence.
It's more than what we do. It's who we are. We were your official bank of the quincentennial celebrations in 2003. We were your Bank of the Year 4 times. We were voted as the inaugural top employer in 2010. We were the inaugural Business of the Year awardee in 2017. Who are we? We are Cayman National, your local bank, proudly serving you for over 40 years. It's because of you that our journey continues.
Kubo Restaurant and Lounge. Cayman's only Pan-Asian restaurant and lounge is now open for lunch.
Taste the traditional flavors of Asian cuisine fused with your modern flair in Kubo's new sushi menu. With lunch delivery from 11 a.m. till 2 p.m. Monday through Friday, you can bring the Asian fusion flavors of Kubo and your sushi platter to your office today. Kubo Restaurant and Lounge is located in the Strand next to the eatery and below Lily's nightclub.
Now open for lunch. That's right, now open for lunch with a new sushi menu and delivery. Visit kubo.ky. That's kuboh.ky or call 947-4513 to place your order.
At KFC, we believe you don't have to share a last name to be a family. Whether it's an office party, holiday fete, or family gathering, enjoy KFC's fresh, hand-breaded finger-licking good chicken. The KFC Festive Feast includes 10 pieces of original recipe or spicy chicken, creamy mashed potatoes, tasty coleslaw, and warm biscuits. KFC's holiday catering menu includes buckets of hot wings, sweet chili wings, or chicken tenders. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
Talk today. But I do have some questions. Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners' participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, good afternoon and welcome back to Talk Today. 949-8837 or 1-800-534-8255. Just during the break, someone sent through a message and asked if we could do it as, whether it's a public service announcement or the like, about a community meeting this evening, 7 o'clock, at the John Gray Memorial Church Hall in relation to the application as the person said. almost 4 acres of turtle grass to be excavated if the application is approved up in the Barkers area. Commercial interest to be pursued and the like. And the message is saying, hey, this is an issue for the community, and to come out is not just about the impact, negative or otherwise, on the environment and the ecology and the like, but as the person shared, economic concerns as well. So 7 p.m., I think it is, from what the person shared, this evening at the John Grier Memorial Church Hall. And most people know that's the one near the four-way, the Old Westway United Church, many would call it. I still sometimes slip in and say it as such. It is the John Grier Memorial Church Hall. 949-8837 or 1-800-534-8255. Or you can email talktoday@candw.ky. If you want to share your thoughts with us, please do likewise. Now, in the discussion that we were referencing earlier with the individuals who obviously, we see that people, whether they live full-time in Cayman, whether Cayman is their home because it was the home of their parents and it was the home of those parents and the like, or whether Cayman is this place where they've only been for the last 20, 30, 40 plus years. Many people have a strong affinity for the country, and without question, they are increasingly prepared to voice that publicly. Now, in our discussion with the individuals earlier, they were focusing on a number of issues, but in particular, the whole concern about what are we doing with the landfill. Not only where are we going to build it, how are we going to build it, what is going to cost, but equally, if we keep continuing dragging our feet, have we actually acknowledged publicly some of the allegations people have made with respect to the leaching within the North Sound? Now, one of the fellows, and I must share, it's been a long time I've gone by boat in that area, said that he has done so on this last trip. I'll tell you what he shared. But let's go to our phones. Hey, good afternoon. You're on Talk Today.
Sterling, you knew it was me. That's what kept me holding so long.
No, I didn't realize you were holding that long. How are you?
I was going to bring you chocolate. You had me holding so long, man.
Sorry?
Next time. Yeah, Sterling, how are you?
Oh, very, very thankful. And yourself?
Good. Sterling, how important is a beacon light?
A beacon light?
Mm-hmm.
Is this symbolically, metaphorically, or is this the beacon for the ships and the planes?
Traffic and stuff, yeah, planes, yeah. Mm-hmm. How important is that beacon light?
I don't know, boy. Some will tell you little thing is important these days and everything is, but you tell us.
Well, there are walkers who the beacon light been up for some time now, and people up there calling, complaining how the beacon light is out and so forth, and they can't get no response back from just about any department, even 911. So if anybody listening, there's supposed to be this beacon light out there in the Walkers Road, somewhere around the 7 Adventist School. So that's pretty much coming directly to the airport. So guys, whoever you are, please go and get a beacon light fixed before going to someone's rooftop one night. I'll leave it at that, Sterling.
Well, thanks for...
Sterling?
Yes, ma'am.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sterling, remember we were talking about the... What?
Sorry, you were talking about, and I lost what you said after that.
You remember we were talking about the purple ribbon and the liquor. Okay. Well, just a couple of days ago, I saw on Facebook, one was for teacher, one was for education, one was for liquor. And guess what? This one jar got the most money.
Tell us.
The liquor jar got the most money. Can you imagine? I think that is true in real life. I just thought I'd share that with you.
Well, thank you for sharing that with us, and certainly thank you for being not only conscious of what is going on, but willing to probably bring it to the public's attention. Sometimes we don't always see the stuff before us because we see it so often we take it for granted. But thank you. And we know that the National Drug Council, every year they have their Purple Ribbon Pledge. They endeavor to try to make it as safe as possible. We got a chance between now and New Year's to speak to the good folks at Hope for Today Foundation and initiative that they're putting on equality to make people's movement during the holidays safe as well. Park and ride, don't drink and drive. That sort of initiative that allow people to, if they want to go out and have a good time, they don't have to worry about, how they're going to get from A to B. Now, some would say quite, obviously, well, why don't you plan beforehand? And if you go into, like the PSA used to share, I don't know if it still airs, I haven't heard it in a while, if you drink, don't drive, if you drive, don't drink. It might be easier said than done. Sometimes people find themselves without, planning and then thought they're out somewhere, and at the end of the day they realize, very responsibly, maybe they didn't have anything to eat, maybe they didn't expect what they were drinking would have affected them that way. So all of a sudden now they need to kind of catch their bearings in before they can go. But sometimes we could reach out a little bit more. 8949837. We go to our phones. Good afternoon. You're on Talk Today.
Sterling, I was just finished with you.
Oh, I did not. There you go.
Yeah, Sterling, I heard Mr. Bush talking in regard this morning about a park they're going to be opening West Bay. I am so happy that that's going to be going down, and it'll probably draw more kids out of the home to come out and enjoy themselves doing various things on the courtyard of the park. And he also stated that there'll be Wi-Fi at the park.
Mm.
That's all good and well, but our children, they need some more togetherness with their parents.
All right, we're losing you again. Yeah, I don't know if it's on this end, but you were saying need some more togetherness with their parents, and then whatever you said after that, didn't hear.
No, I'm saying that the children need to have more togetherness with their parents when they're home or out of the home.
Right.
And if you're going to open these parks and these various places throughout the island and going to offer internet, that's another distraction. That's more distraction to come out to the park and if you're just sitting playing your phone, when should be exercising, throwing a ball, or
may as well stay home, right?
May as well stay home because right now they're home there with the children with the very toddler in their high chair with their tablet playing, watching her games or whatever it may be.
Right. Something you mentioned that, if I could, and it was only a comment that someone recently again shared with respect to public spaces where there's free Wi-Fi and young people are congregating. I do not know that this necessarily happens in Cayman to the extent that it does in other places, but the fellow making a comment shared that there's a particular place where he lives, and what he's found is that this fairly wide open public space, not only young people but others would come there, get the Wi-Fi, I guess it is, and it hasn't become a communal sort of social gathering. It's almost a bit of a distraction and interruption. And to your point, if you have a park where you could be playing and throwing a ball and enjoying the sun and the family and the like, but instead you're balled up into whatever it is that you position and on this device, and your thumbs are getting a heavy workout.
No disrespect to Mr. Bush. I hope he doesn't take this wrong. But, I'm happy to know the park is going to be rolling soon. By the fact of putting Wi-Fi there for these kids and to get active and enjoy the family there with them. The mother should be interacting. There's a sister, brother, everybody should be interacting. And another thing, they should open it at least till 9 o'clock for volleyball and basketball for all the kids and having a security there to monitor the place well.
But wait, a good point. If I could ask you though, this issue, and this is not meant to sort of be a slight at security, higher security services, by no means. But when is it that we've become a society where everything now, we have security? Why can't we be respectful, respectable, responsible people? And if it's a public park, if it's a gathering, that we go about and we don't need to be policed. I mean, security is no more than an element of policing.
I I agree with you 100%, Sterling. We don't need no security, but I mentioned that because in everything
I understand, ma'am.
tends to have the security. We give our own security for our own grounds,
Yeah.
in our own properties, in our own businesses, and throughout the whole island.
Yeah.
But no, we have to have a security here and there and proclamation to an extent. But I saw that in there to the fact of the first thing I said, well, we got no security down there. Everybody can do their own security, and it's going to be closed. If it closed up at a certain hour, well, someone who's in charge will come out and make sure it's closed up and blah, 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 blah. You understand? So,
Yes,
but
ma'am.
it's a great, I'm happy that it's a park going on rest day, but I would love to see more interaction with the parents and the children to see that want to come up with their cell phone, sitting down and pinging, and never do no exercise with the ball or whatever case may be.
There you
And
go.
You know what they're going to say later? Oh, the park didn't work out. The
Yep.
kids just come and didn't do nothing at the park.
All
What
right.
a waste of money and all that kind of stuff. We don't need to hear that.
All right.
So only one more thing I'm going to leave you. Just one more thing, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
On Walker's Road, Friday evening last week, this week that's going here, a kid was tapped in the front of the prep school by a vehicle. I will not go into any much of detail because I don't know of much of a detail. But a kid got tapped by a car in the front of the school trying to step off the sidewalk to walk across the street to get to his apartment. Say that to say this. Walker's Road, we got 3 schools up there. Need some major help from who I don't know. Sterling, if either we're going to change the school hours, one school is in early and one is out late to keep the traffic from being so hectic on Walker's Road. We got parents coming to pick up kids from the private school, no disrespect to them, and they're on a lunch hour. They're rushing and carrying on to get the kids. We don't have to get the kids so the kids are children too.
Right.
And it's dangerous. It is too crazy on Walker Road from 3 o'clock to about 4:45. And we need some help up there desperately.
All right.
And what happened to the kid, I don't know, but I hope that he's okay. He did not actually fell on the ground. He when the car touched him, the car was barely moving, and the boy grabbed the hood to balance himself from falling on the ground.
But it could have been so much worse, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It could have been a whole lot worse. And thank God the car was just crawling, just
Right.
moving slowly because
Yes,
that
ma'am.
was very tight. So I'll leave that with you and ask the public to please respect the kids on the road, left, right, and center, whether they may be school, shopping, or riding, or whatever the case may be.
So true. Yeah. Hey, thank you too, Mom. Thank you very much. All right. All right, let's pause, take a short break. When we come back, let's continue the phone calls. Stay tuned for Talk Today.
The facts on domestic violence are widely misunderstood. According to the Center for Disease Control, Harvard University, and many academic studies, men and women are equal victims in domestic violence. Even more understood is that in 2/3 of domestic violence incidents, women hit first. It's time to change the narrative. Remember, a healthy relationship will never require you to sacrifice your friends, your dreams, or your dignity. Stop the slap, stop the cycle, stop the violence.
The Stop the Slap campaign has been proudly sponsored by Foster's Food Fair. Stop the slap. Stop the cycle. Stop the violence.
On the second day of Christmas, Foster's gave to me an iPhone XS with Apple AirPods and Mophie wireless charger. Shop today only to be entered to win an iPhone XS with Apple AirPods and Mophie wireless charger. Brought to you by Rainforest Seafoods. Purchase specially marked products to enter the Foster's IGA 12 Days of Giving. Visit us in-store or online and check us out on social media to see all our sponsors, the daily prizes, and the 3 grand prizes. Free groceries for up to a year. Learn more at fosters-iga.com.
The Prospect Red Bay Community Group is having a Christmas potluck party. It's happening Saturday, December 15th, 7 p.m. at the Seafarers Hall, Victory Avenue. There's going to be loads of food and fellowship and live music by the Regeneration Band and lots of free prizes or raffle prizes. So check it out on Saturday, December 15th at the Seafarers Hall, 7 p.m. for the Prospect Red Bay Community Group Christmas potluck party.
South Coast Bar and Grill up in Breakers, man, that is the place. For traditional Cayman cuisine, oh, you will love the taste. At South Coast Bar and Grill, we got conch and lobster and turtle stew. And every Sunday come out with your family for the barbecue.
South Coast Bar and Grill by the seaside, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. daily, lunch and dinner. Call us at 947-2517.
For Cayman and cuisine, the talk today is South Coast Bar and Grill.
You're invited to the opening of the Coat of Arms exhibition on Saturday, the 15th of December from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Cayman Islands National Museum on the waterfront. Come out to celebrate Cayman and 60 years of our Coat of Arms with local food, traditional crafts, festive fun, and entertainment. Show your Caymanian pride and help us to commemorate this milestone with this historic exhibition. Saturday, the 15th of December, starting at 10 a.m. Visit celebratecayman.ky for more information.
Talk today.
But I do have some questions.
Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Good afternoon. Welcome back to Talk Today. It is open line 949-8037 1-800-534-8255. Let's go to our phones. Good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Good afternoon, Sterling.
Hey, good afternoon. How are you?
This is Pastor Alston.
Pastor, thank you not only for calling, but for acknowledging who you are, so people can say, "Hey, yeah, that's a good fellow."
Yeah, if there's anything wrong with what I say, at least I know who to blame.
Yeah, that's what I say, sir.
They won't blame you. Right. I thought I'd pick up on the main subject that you seem to have been talking about, which was the landfill. I called in the other morning, and I think we had some people from the Department of Environment talking about the recycling project and about being proposed and the whole problem that's dealing with refuse here in Cayman.
Right.
And I just wanted to really focus again on the need in Cayman for a more integrated, interdepartmental approach to problem solving. I don't know whether people just feel so protective of their own domain that they don't even let other departments into what's going on. But I believe that a lot more of our problems could be solved if we worked together. The whole concept of synergy, would come to fruition and bring forth some good things. So, for example, I mentioned there but OC seems to not have a whole lot of time, so I wanted. You don't have a whole lot of people knocking on your door, so I'll call you.
There you go.
But the idea of recycling, it starts with the things that anybody can do, and that is to use those organic waste that we are producing on a daily basis. I think it's actually it's a feature of our ignorance. There's so many of our Caymanians that still have this tradition of, I want to keep my yard clean, but they're bagging up their leaves and they're sending them to the dump.
Mm-hmm.
Possibly they don't know that every bit of fertilizer that comes out of the soil that goes into that tree, eventually some of it is in each and every one of those leaves. It's in the plant.
Mm-hmm.
And when those leaves fall to the ground, instead of sending them to the dump, you need to put them back into your soil.
But how do we get to a composting area? I mean, a centralized composting area?
Yeah, but composting, I think that's what I talked about. The idea that, for example, why should all those plant material be sent to the public dump? Why can't there be a relationship between the agricultural department where they actually set up a composting area that they could actually sell soil back to the public?
We do the recycling for the Christmas trees, right?
Organic waste from trees. They invest in one of these shredders and mulchers, and instead of us having to import all this, we import compost. We import composted cow manure. Mm-hmm. We import mulch material from overseas, and it's not all that necessary when we are producing so much of that stuff ourselves. We put it in the public dump. It becomes organic waste that's ready to be ignited and burned forever and ever, rather than having it separated into a totally different place and used to be put back in our soil, not to be incinerated and burned and add to the carbon CO2 problem that we already have. We have a big. I mean, I don't know how old you are, Sterling. You are younger than I am, but you still might be able to remember when we actually had some cool winters here, when you had to wear a sweater, when you could walk outside at the night and see your breath. Now, when is the last time you've seen that happen?
In Cayman?
In Cayman. It's been a while. My wife has been here for 45 years. She's been married 45 years. She remembers when she came here that we often had temperatures in the upper 50s and low 60s in the winter months. Last night, they told me that last night's low is going to be in the mid-80s. So I'm thinking, yeah, I know that the President of the United States presumably don't believe in global warming, but he hasn't lived in Cayman, where we know that our annual temperature, the mean temperatures, is getting higher and higher all the time. And you know, the idea of waste to energy is wonderful, but we have to be careful how we do that, because we begin to incinerate things that should be decomposing into the soil, locking in that CO2 into our soil and into our plants instead of in the air, creating that greenhouse effect, which we don't want to do. So I'm saying that what I'm lamenting is there's not enough interdepartmental thinking and cooperation and working, so that there is synergy that happens when we're trying to. I mean, I think we're doing a good job. It's fantastic to go to the farmers market and to go down to Cayman Bay on a Wednesday and to see the amount of produce that we are growing here in Cayman now. But we're importing so much of the stuff to make our things grow.
Right. But I mean, to your point, too, just even with the agricultural efforts that we have on the way, those food items that we're purchasing, not only with the imported mulch and fertilizer, but to what extent is it organic? Is it, the use of pesticide? But this synergy that you speak about in relation and among the different government departments, is it also too sort of indicative in a wider community or community groups or churches or businesses? There seems to be a little cooperation and unity. We seem to be disjointed and competitive as opposed to cooperative.
Yeah, I think it takes extra effort to take your seed idea and say, let me bring in some other people because I have this idea. Let's see how together we can make this thing happen. It's easier to say, okay, here's my 2 or 3 people, here's my department, let's see what we can get done. And because of that, I think some of the ideas simply they put on the shelf so long that they become dry rot.
Right. Yeah.
But into them, and they never come. So whether it's the National Trust, the Department of Environment, the Department of Health, I don't know. In other words, there's Agriculture Department. There's a lot of departments that can be working together because there are certain things that there are sort of overlaps in their areas of interest.
But is that a challenge then, that we are all respectfully we're operating in our silos? I mean, to your point earlier, where people seem to be either unwilling or unable to sort of yield some of their power and position because they may feel that they're going to lose out, as opposed to what you're saying. If we cooperate, we can have better results.
Yes. And I mean, I think whether, governments of the mind that, okay, I'm saying government, I mean, I'm talking generally speaking of various departments.
Right.
But let's say you look at the agricultural department. Frankly, I think that department should be doing a whole lot more and could do a whole lot more. They have some expertise there. And many places in the world where you have a growing interest in agriculture, they set up these extension places. They're into the community. If they look at making sure, for example, that there's a pest. For example, we have a major pest here in Cayman. It's called the avocado lacewing. The avocado lacewing will destroy your avocado trees because you see all these avocado leaves with this kind of yellowing and reddening, and they get this burnt out. It looks like people blaming the mosquito. The mosquito plane or the spray. No, it's not the mosquito plane. It's not the spray. It's an avocado lacewing. It's an insect that's destroying 1 one tree. If you have it in your tree and I have an avocado in my neighboring tree, I probably have it there as well. Why doesn't our agriculture department go from north to south, east to west, and eradicate that pest? Just because somebody overseas hasn't complained, as they have done, about the pink mealybug. The pink mealybug, somebody overseas complained, so we don't want it in here. We have the pink mealybug still here. It's not as bad a problem, but things like the avocado lacewing. What about, increasing the whole product from our soil, such as having an extension project going into districts and helping the different landowners or homeowners who have a mango tree in their backyard, but it's just a common mango or whatever, to do grafting. I'm saying these are the kind of not incentives. Some people already have some incentives because they want to make money. But they're initiatives that should come from these departments that are here not just for self-existence. They're here to serve the community. And when you have a kind of a synergistic working together interdepartmentally, so you're looking at we want to reduce the amount of refuse that goes to the dump, especially the organic stuff. There are ways to do it besides burning it up.
And sometimes maybe it just needs a particular voice to champion it. Some people to hear it again for the first time. But it maybe just needs to be reminded. And I think what you're sharing, that cross-departmental sort of fertilization of ideas and synergies, as you shared. But how do we get that? Because our people seem to be willing to sit by and wait for the government, whatever facet and form that's going to take, as opposed to acting with initiative.
If I could answer that question.
Anything final, sir? Hello?
Huh?
Sorry, for a minute I lost you. Anything final you want to share with us?
No, it's just that I would like to stir people's thinking more along the line of every homeowner realizing we don't have to throw away our bags of leaves and so forth. We can create a nice little fence there in our backyard and put our leaves there. Eventually it'll rot down and it becomes soil that we can put back in our garden. We don't have to send it to the dump.
Exactly.
Or if we have major quantities of it, then it should go to some place where it can be mulched and ground and mulched, and then accessed as we do once a year for Christmas trees. But why not year round? I guess Captain Paul was talking about the same thing the other day. I joined my voice to his in saying we need to do this rather than waiting for some major initiative from government. Thank you for giving me the time. Maybe other people are knocking down the door now, and may they do that gently so that we can continue the dialogue.
There you go. I thank you for sharing that, and hopefully people listen and take it on board. Enjoy your rest of the day, sir. I'm going to pause. Ms. Susan reminds me of the news, so let's hit that when we come back. What are you going to share? Well, 949-8037. Stay tuned for Talk Today.
Radio Cayman. Radio Cayman's newsroom. These are the biggest stories right now.
One man is in stable condition and another in custody after a stabbing in West Bay Saturday. Police say a wounded man showed up at the station in West Bay just before 2:40 p.m. He said he had been stabbed multiple times. A 20-year-old West Bay man is under arrest, suspected of assault causing grievous bodily harm. Police say the victim knows him. In news elsewhere, a jury began its second day of deliberations today on a sentencing recommendation for a man convicted of killing a woman and injuring dozens of people when he drove his car into counter-protesters at a white nationalist rally in Virginia. Under the law, the jury, which convicted James Alex Fields Jr. last week of first-degree murder and 9 other charges, can recommend from 20 years to life in prison on both that charge and each of 5 charges of aggravated malicious wounding. A former Canadian diplomat reportedly has been arrested in China. The International Crisis Group said Tuesday it's aware of reports that its Northeast Asia senior advisor, Michael Kovrig, has been detained. The Brussels-based non-governmental organization said in a statement that it's doing everything possible to obtain additional information about Kovrig's whereabouts and that it will work to ensure his prompt release.
And delegations from Yemen's warring sides have agreed on Tuesday to set January 20th as a final date to swap over 15,000 prisoners from both sides of the country's devastating civil war that, according to a member of the rebel delegation, the internationally recognized government of President Abed Hadi and Iran-backed Shiite rebels said in a press conference in Sweden that they have exchanged prisoner lists, allowing 4 weeks for review ahead of a final swap to be facilitated by the International Committee of the Red Cross. The move is a crucial step in the implementation of an agreement reached earlier this month on the exchange of all prisoners held by both sides over the 4-year civil war. Those are your latest updates here on Radio Cayman. I'm Shanta Gallego.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
What's happening in your community? News and information, music and more. You can find us. www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Radio Cayman is your choice, your voice for today's biggest news. Radio Cayman.
J&M Money Christmas link up par with your family. Time for your fix up. J&M Money Christmas link up par with your family. Time for your fix up.
Win a family vacation and link up with your family in Jamaica, or send for them with J&M Money Christmas link up. From now until December 31st, just send or receive money for an instant entry. Win a road trip airfare for one, a family dinner, and a day at a theme park. Weekly spot prizes included. Call 345-945-2014 for details. Available at J&M Money locations across the Cayman Islands.
CUC advises customers in West Bay between the Hell Gift Shop and Hell Road East to and including Dill Lane on Reverend Blackman Road and south on Town Hall Road to and including Billy Mandersing Drive that they will experience interruptions to their electrical service on Wednesday, December 12th between 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. Areas affected on Hell Road include Fountain Road up to and including Agua Lane, and areas affected on Town Hall Road include Billy Mandersing Drive and Sanchez Villas. Motorists are asked to drive with caution when utilizing Hell Road, Reverend Blackman Road, and Town Hall Road, as CUC will have a number of vehicles and personnel in these areas. CUC apologizes for this interruption, which is necessary to upgrade line hardware and provide our customers with safe, reliable, and efficient power. For more information on the outage and areas and streets affected, please contact CUC's customer service team at 949-5200 or email service@cuc.ky.
Talk today. But I do have some questions.
Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, good afternoon and welcome back to Talk Today. It's open line 949-8037 or 1-800-534-8255. At 1:30, Matt Brown and Ms. Rita Stevanovic will join us. They have a nice Christmas comedy show coming up. I'm going to tell you more about that in a bit. But hey, in the meantime, you take your calls and you can share your thoughts with us. The caller prior to the break was lamenting, as he shared, about the need for us to be a little bit more cognizant of what we're sending into the landfill. Yes, we hear the PSAs and the appeals by many to say you got to reduce, reuse, recycle. You know, are we actually making any meaningful impact? Now, I know in some communities or even in just some households, there are great attempts at trying to, compost and the like, or whether it's the kitchen scraps, from the peelings and the potatoes and the carrots and the like, or whether it's the little bits and pieces in the yard when they're trimming up the trees and mowing the lawns and what have you. But is there more that we can do on a concerted basis? As that caller was sharing, someone sent through a message and was asking a couple of things. Where is there a way that perhaps the commercial operations, the garden service companies and the like, instead of just dumping the yard waste on abandoned or undeveloped properties, that maybe there's a spot to take it. Someone shared that they believe that exists at the landfill, but to what extent it's accessible and honestly don't know. Maybe someone at landfill can just give us a quick call off air and say, hey, we do have this, no we don't, yes we're working on it, and what have you. But is there a way to do it, as the caller shared, so that not only can we reduce the costs and the potential consequences of bringing in something that may be harmful, but we're using what we have here and not putting it into the landfill. A small, perhaps seemingly insignificant gesture that could be easily accomplished with great promise and potential. Like so much. One other caller during the break just shared that, unfortunately, we're sitting and waiting for someone else to do something, and we're not willing or seemingly able. Now, he shared that quickly. He reached out in the past to do something, was told, well, you need to go through the government to get this done. He thought, why? Why can't we just do things? We seem to allow certain things to go unheeded. So when you're calling the authorities to report what seems to be an improper or illegal act, they seem to be almost unwilling or reluctant or slow in responding. But if something that you're trying to do, there's much headache and hassle in order to get it achieved. Is that the problem? People no longer care about it because they feel that they're already going to lose the battle, so why even try? Well, what's your view? 949-8037 or 1-800-534-8255. But I appreciate the caller's point, because one of the other points that someone off air had messaged while he was sharing and commenting on it, said that he has a property in one district and a property in another, and he remembers, this person says, remembers specifically saying to his garden service company, very pleased with their work, but when you leave this property and you go to the other property to cut the yard and to do whatever it is that needs to be done, before you leave, take and wash off your garden hose and your equipment, clean it, so that when you go to the next property, you don't take from one to the next. And he said that it was almost a battle to get it. Presumably the owner, manager, supervisor, whoever was, had instructed the workers, but they seemed to be unconcerned, not bothered, not unwilling to take the time. And he shared that he asked that, and this was to his contention a long time ago, when he saw that a particular pest that he had in one yard had come up in another yard. And speaking to someone over at the Department of Agriculture, they said, well, you want to avoid transferring it from one point to the next, and this was one measure that you could employ. Now he's wondering, is that something that is a practice? Don't necessarily that we should have to legislate for it, but again, best practices. Are there things that we're doing? He says, how often do we see, whether it's the blower or other things, public roads or in subdivisions, or even undeveloped areas, people blowing it from one yard into the next. Again, he shares, we're creating hassles and lacking in our respect as we show to others. But your thoughts, 949-8037 or 1-800-534-8255. This morning's discussion with the gentleman, the fellow said, and if any of you have been out there, I don't disbelieve him. I just can honestly tell you that I haven't gone there in a long time, so I don't know. But he said that he had, taken a trip prior to his last visit, one of the last days before he left, to the area in the North Sound where the dump seems to have more of a discoloration in the water. And he's gone back again this time. Okay, it's been a few months, but he thought, wow, in that short time, it looks worse. The smell is more evident. Now, he says there are certain times of the year when it seems to be more pronounced. But his concern was, is this something from the landfill? Is it creating greater problems that we're not even acknowledging, or that we're trying to downplay when we do? And he says, we are leaving this and it's going to get worse, not just for the potential health concerns of the populace now, but what about down the road? And he thought, we seem to believe that this is an issue, for the Georgetown landfill, or if we put it in Bordentown, it's an issue for Bordentown. Now, those locations may not be the best options. There may be some other place, but what are we doing about it? And have we looked at a way to properly deal, with the garbage that we are generating, and not just trying to reduce what we send in there to perhaps eliminate some of the things that are sent there altogether. But when it's there, how do we process it? How do we effectively, manage that? And if there's going to be an expenditure, well, that is, very cost effective, and not a case where he's contended almost all consistently during our conversation that it seems that if it's a government project and the costs are going to be borne by the taxpayer, that there's no concern about the eventual cost. And he thought that was most unfortunate. Now, many of you have greater insights. Many you can point to, countries in Europe, examples I'm told, even within North America, that are effective. But certainly there are working examples that we could borrow. His final question was, have we looked at them? And not just that. He says he doesn't necessarily trust politicians, not only because sometimes they don't have that expertise, that technical expertise, but worse, some of the people that we seem to have employed either as, consultants or contracted officers or the like, they themselves, don't have the requisite integrity or intellect. No. He thought this is not only a place where he's invested heavily, but it's a place that he actually has enjoyed coming for all these decades. And he's not here every day, all year round, but certainly it's a place that is in his, to his mind and heart, daily. So, your thoughts? 949-8037 or 1-800-534-8255. Now, the other comment that the caller prior to the news break shared, there was an issue that we were discussing yesterday with someone after the program. He was sharing that it's Christmas, and Christmas people get the beef. Christmas people look for a different bread kind, the cassava and the like. And he shared that it seems that to date, either as a practice and certainly from what he's experienced as a avid sort of backyard farmer and gardener and the like, the Department of Agriculture, when they do their inspections of the meat, at least the ones that he has seen, they're very thorough, very diligent, very professional, and he hasn't yet, felt any way with respect to going and buying the fresh beef. Not only is it better, but he believes it's safe. But he said that he was having some discussions with a few of the members of, maybe I'll use the term, the agriculture community. And from what he's garnered, he said he's sharing that for them to increase their yields, for them to protect their crops and the like, that they are turning increasingly to different elements and of pest control. And even though it may be in smaller quantities, he's wondering, is there a way that we can ensure that the produce that we're getting is a little bit, healthier than maybe what we are importing. And he shares sometimes that there's a concern that it isn't. He says that one property that he was looking at in order to maybe get a chance to go in and do some more farming, he was told that there could be some concerns with the property now. He hasn't done any soil testing or the like, but again, are we looking at our farming both from the reliance on ourselves as opposed to the concerns with importation if they're ever interrupted, but equally the safety of the yield, not just the quantity, but how safe is the vegetable and the fruit and the herbs and all the other things that we're trying to grow and to sell, not only for it to be commercially viable, but for it to honestly be as healthy as we can. And he thinks that is, like so many things, being overlooked and downplayed. Now, he shares that there are many out there who are very conscious, not just the smaller farmer, not just the backyard gardener, but a lot of others. And there is, without question, he shares, a nice bounty at the farmers' markets. And for him, when he goes, it's a joy to be able to see some of the things. Now, is this of importance to us from the national security perspective as he shared? Is it from the health perspective? Well, you be the judge. 949-8037 or 1-800-534-8255. Quick short break. When we come back, more Talk Today.
Come along with me so that you will see the best company for your road safety. You'll get the theory, you'll get the road from the best driving school that you can afford. Hi, I'm Berman Scott from the Real Thing Driving School. You can find us on Facebook. Call me on 925-5094 or call 922-6223. You'll get the real thing. Yes, it's the real thing. You'll get the real thing. The Real Thing Driving School. Consultation, orientation. Come get your lesson. The Real Thing Driving School.
The only bad workout is the one that never happens. Make 2019 the year you commit to fitness. Let King Sports Center put you on the right track with their Get Fit 2019 sale from December 15th to January 15th. 2-for-1 Powerhouse Gym memberships for $600 or a single membership for $325. And call them to find out how you can take an additional $100 off this sale price. 946-5464 or visit kingsportscenter.com. King Sports Center, providing your fitness, recreation, and relaxation needs. Remember, fit is not a destination. It is a way of life.
Advance Automotive Chevrolet is celebrating their 10th birthday by giving away $10,000 to one lucky person who buys a brand new Chevrolet. Not buying a new car this year? Well then, why not be one of 10 people who could win free gas for a year? Book any service with Advance Automotive before December 19th to enter. And remember, Advance Automotive can service any make of vehicle so everyone can enter. Visit AdvanceChevrolet.com for more details or call 945-9191 to book your service today. Terms and conditions apply.
You can hear another CI Retro Talk Today special presentation on Friday at 12:15 p.m. when we take a look back at Cayman Islands' Christmas celebrations and traditions through the years, going back some 150 years through present day. This special CI Retro Talk Today presentation is being brought to you by Four Winds Esso, Enterprise City, and FSH Designs. CI Retro Talk Today, Christmas Remembered through the years, Friday, 12:15 p.m. on Radio Cayman.
Retain your peace of mind by installing a reliable generator, knowing that your family is safe and secure during a power outage. At Corporate Electric, we care about the well-being of our customers and their loved ones. We are the official distributor of Kohler SDMO generators in the Cayman Islands and can conduct a free assessment of your house to suggest the perfect fit. Call us at 946-2277. Visit our website or the Facebook page for more details.
Going back to the brag again.
Look, you know, I can't afford to miss this one. The Sport Bay Committee presents the second annual Sport Bay Christmas Homecoming, December 15th through the 25th.
It's a place called Christmas Island.
Featuring 3 days of traditional Cayman Black Christmas festivities, including live music by district musicians, home decorating contest, children's party, homecoming party, carol service, seniors gift distribution, singspiration, old-time kitchen dance, and fireworks to close off the year. For more information on dates and locations, call 925-3250. The Sport Bay Christmas Homecoming, December 15th through the 25th. It's time to come on home to the Brack again.
Going back to the Brack again.
Talk today.
But I do have some questions.
Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, good afternoon and welcome back. It is Talk Today, 949-8037 or 1-800-534-TALK. Some open line. Quick reminder, Matt Brown's supposed to join us together with Rita Stevanovic at 1:30. But let's go to our phones. Hey, good afternoon. You're on Talk Today.
Good afternoon, Sterling.
Good afternoon, ma'am. How are you?
I am very thankful and highly blessed.
Amen to that.
I know what happened just now, Berman Scott. Made me make up my mind that I can learn to drive now. No. I can't drive. I need to get a license.
Well, at least you can drive. I know some who have a license that I'm still wondering if they can drive.
Yeah. Before look here, up until yesterday, I was telling somebody said to me, no.
Yeah, man.
I was on a bus, and that bus was terrible.
Mm.
Okay, and I make them know when they're not driving good because I got 2 new hips, you understand?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then on top of that, now I've had for the last couple of weeks, people have been saying to me, "What happened? I hear you, you don't get onto the talk show no more." Well, I said, "I'm very busy. I get on when I have the time."
They don't know you're busy. I mean, you're
They
busy.
don't know it. And so then I stopped now. I stopped from after hearing from that day. I stopped doing finishing up on a lady's basket.
Yeah, man.
No, it's not a basket. A bag. This is a bag now. I finished up for this evening. So I finished up. That's why I had to take a little pause now. Then you see, and I smiled when I heard that on. Come on.
Me too, man. Me too. He is catchy jingle, but he is also good.
Let me tell you. Look at. Well, it's hard and it to copy him,
But is it a real thing, driving school? Come on now.
Yeah, but it's hard to copy him and to copy. And look, another thing I say to Susan, one other time I say, but everything he has put much the same beat to it. But you don't really notice it. You understand what I'm saying?
Well, artists tend to have you can recognize people, not just their voice, but as you said, their style.
Nobody can copy him, I tell you.
Yeah, man. True.
Nobody can copy him. About that thing there, about what you call copyright. Nobody can do that. Now, another thing. Sorry, I want to wish for everybody, everyone, worldwide, Cayman Islands, all the visitors, all the residents, and all the natives here, born and bred, and all the Caymanians. I want to wish everybody. People have been saying to me, this is how I say to Sterling. America, I say, no. We have Christmas every day. From you have a shelter, from you got food, and you got clothes, and you got shoes on your feet. It's a Christmas every day. All you got to do is to give thanks for it. So this is why I tell them, I say, okay, even get on and off the buses, I tell people, I say, okay, you all have a very good season for this season and all the others, God's willing.
Amen.
That sound good?
Yep.
Yeah, so this is what I want to do now. Put that out for everybody that listen to Radio Cayman. Because look at Sterling, it's still a lot of people that don't listen to it, But Sterling, I have been convincing a lot to listen. This is why some can say that they miss me calling in.
Yes,
ma'am. You hear what I'm saying?
I hear you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I said, I can leave it now, so I will get back down his bag now.
Get our bag down. All right.
In his bag, yes. I will get down. It's pretty too,
I can imagine, and if you get time.
It's pretty.
Yeah, tonight at the John Grier Memorial Church Hall, 7 o'clock, there's a meeting about Barkas and the 4-acre proposed excavation of the Turtle Grass. So that might be something you might want to put on your agenda to come across and hear what will be said.
No, I can't make that. I can't make it.
There you go.
I can't make it.
Yeah.
God knows when I say I can. And when I can't, it's just a can't.
That's
I mean, the can't is, they say the word that can't is a word you shouldn't use, but at times it really happens.
Just not possible. That's it. That's how it goes.
Yes, sir.
All right.
All the best, Sterling, to you and all your family.
Amen.
And tell your mama and your daddy too. Hello from all the Kiki crowd here.
I can do that. God bless, Mom. All right. Thank you very much. And let's take another call. Hey, good afternoon. You're on Talk Today.
Hello. Good afternoon, Sterling. How are you doing?
Boy, bless, man. How are you, my friend?
I'm good, man. It's good to hear you back on the radio, man.
Boy, it's good to be back, what's that On the Mountain song? Good to be back in the bracket again.
Nobody never miss you until you're gone.
Well, that's a country song I listened to the other day. It said, it's better to be gone and not forgotten than be forgotten and not gone.
No. Well, it all depends on what type of mark you made while you were around.
That was it. Thank you, man. Thank you.
But yeah, no, I'm assuming it's open mic. And
it is.
There's a lot of topics to cover.
We had some scheduled guests, but they didn't come. So.
Sorry. Yeah. Obviously, there's a lot of pressing issues that we can talk about, and I think that for those that are on the forefront, people try to stay focused and be involved with different conversations that highlight certain issues. Marcus is one of them. Obviously, I think the people of West Bay, more importantly, have more of a connection with Marcus, because that's where most of them grow up in West. When they're growing up, so they have a genuine concern as to what the future for Marcus, and and we try to have our voice heard, we sometimes we lose sight of other things that lost in translation. And we've been obviously, we've been pounding, the petition, trying to get people involved, because this is not a one-person initiative. This is an island-wide initiative. Everybody in Cayman is going to feel the effects of something negatively done to our environment.
Right.
So we have to be very careful as to how yes, progress is eminent, but it has to be sustainable development progress moving forward. All these things we talk about, and somehow the dump and education has got lost in translation, right? And you would think that the Cayman Islands landfill would be top priority for the government, simply because we all know that it's a health hazard. It's one of those things that we kind of sidestep, simply because it's not an easy solution to deal with the dump. There's so many different things that need to be done that could be done like right away. The last going off last year, there was a huge report put out, and I got to give the government credit in that regard, where they did identify a large consortium of different people to be involved in fixing the situation at the dump. But I think we need to start to re-emphasize and we need to start talking about that, some more, because here we are, tracking down a whole year. We're about to enter a brand new year, 2019, and yet we have not done anything of any real substantial, magnitude, other than just talk and plan to do anything with the dump. And it's very concerning, because, a lot of us don't ride the bypass, we don't see it or smell it, but that don't mean that it don't exist, and that it's not there, and it's not continuing to be an issue health-wise, and all this development is going in around it. I think the government needs to start to look at the things in Cayman that are high priority and that should be placed as not high priority, like the dump and education and all these other things. But we see now where, we got to fight these battles. We got to save Smith Cove, we got to save Barcus, we got to save Georgetown Harbour. And, we're being criticized even by our local companies.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's a crying shame, Sterling, that for whatever reason we've allowed the compass to continue to insult the Caymanian people with its very brash remarks in the compass. And what's really funny about that is National Trust issued a statement in regards to their editorial last week, and they published that. But they didn't publish any of the concerns from the general populace who wrote to the compass in response to the open letter, but they never published any of those letters. I can show you. It was multiple letters that went in, none of which was published. I figured that the reason why they published the National Trust one, because that's on a national level. If they didn't publish it, then that may have caused a little bit of issues. But I don't see why the voice of a small person in our country is not being heard and being suppressed simply because they don't see the importance. If you have a neutral newspaper and if you advocate freedom of speech and freedom of expression, why are they not allowing people who want to voice their opinion, whether it's in agreement with them or not, in their newspaper? So we need to get a handle, because you and I both know how far media goes when it comes to people making up their mind about any issue. So they have to be responsible. You can't call Caymanian people, memes, because you're not doing anything any different from what you accuse them. You call us so-called environmentalists and experts, but yet neither person, to my knowledge, that works for Cayman Islands Compass is an environmentalist that has a marine biology degree. So how could they argue with somebody who's just simply saying, we want to preserve our environment? Not because we're experts, because we like it the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
And there's nothing wrong with it the way it is. So, again, they can't say that we're anti-development, because just take a look at Cayman, Sterling. Take a good look at Cayman. How in the world can we be accused of being anti-development when Cayman has transformed into something in the last 25 years that we never thought it would ever be? Now, there's a lot of good development. There's a lot of developments that I think the island needed, of course. But, when we get up and say, okay, well, we want to preserve this beach, we want to preserve that harbor, we want to preserve this piece of property, we're being accused of being unreasonable. to quote the editorial, is that rock don't pay rent, don't pay you rent. I mean, come on.
Yep.
I think it's a very erroneous statement. I think that it's one of those things that they get away with simply because the editor himself is hiding behind the anonymous. Because you remember years ago, Sterling, correct me if I'm wrong, where we always knew who the editor was because they always put the name at the bottom of the editorial, and now we don't see that.
We're seeing, and I only can look at some of the North or the U.S. specifically, newspapers where they talk about their editorial board. So perhaps this one has adopted a similar style. But again, accountability and who's behind it, how it's working. There are a lot of questions generally with respect to the media and the way the media operates and its objectivity. I mean, if you look at look at three news houses, the CNN, the Fox, and the BBC. Isn't there a question, which one seems to be superior? And the other two for North America seem to be biased one way or the other. Where's the objectivity, the professionalism, and the integrity that should be as journalists?
And you see, that's the new trend, right? Where we've seen media houses take full advantage of the public at large simply by either not covering the issues that should be covered, or when they do cover certain issues, that it's so one-sided or biased to the point where people just don't partake. But in the Cayman Islands, where we are so much different because we are a small society, everybody pretty much knows everybody, and if you don't know everybody, you've probably seen them once or twice, right? So when we have a print media that has always been the top print media within the island, and it has a huge audience, being so disrespectful to put things in the newspaper that is directed and derogatory towards the Caymanian people, and I think that and not to be ever be held accountable. I think that it's something that Premier made an attempt a few years back to put some sort of checks and balances in place, and then obviously, for whatever reason, they reneged on the entire initiative that was put forward. Now, I'm not saying that we shouldn't have a balance of different things that we put in place in order to prevent certain hindrances for Caymanians. But I'm just saying that we shouldn't do something and then backtrack it, because if your first initial reason for doing something was good enough for you to do it to begin with, then obviously it must have had some merit, and it should have remained, and let them change whatever actions that they have done in order to warrant that type of reaction from the government and people. Then until it changes, then we shouldn't have budged from our position.
Yeah, man. Hey, thanks very much. And with that, let's pause and take a break. When we come back, hey, Matt Brown should join us. Stay tuned for Talk Today.
Hello, I'm Arthur Ebanks.
And I'm Angela Ebanks, owners of Savannah Pharmacy.
On behalf of the entire Savannah Pharmacy family, we would like to wish all of our Cayman families a very Merry Christmas and safe and prosperous New Year.
Remember, we're always just around the corner in Countryside Shopping Village with everything your family needs this holiday season.
We look forward to continuing to serve you and your loved ones throughout 2019.
Honey, our fridge has stopped working again. Everything in the freezer is melting. We need to get this repaired right away. I'm calling Brand Source Service.
When you need the very best appliance service, call Brand Source Service at 623-5000. Offering service and installation of all brands and models of appliances. Brand Source Service is Cayman's source for appliance parts and repairs, with qualified and experienced technicians and the island's largest stock of appliance parts. Brand Source Service will have your repair completed in a flash. So, whatever the problem is, call the experts at 623-5000. Brand Source Service, Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park. Telephone 623-5000.
Matt Brown and Rita Estevanovich star in the Cayman Christmas Comedy Show. A gift from the CNCF to you.
Yay!
Hey, Christmas comedy show. I am excited.
Well, I don't want to see it.
Too bad. You're in it.
Me in a show?
It's the bestest, most festivus Christmas show ever. Coming to your district between December 11th to 16th. Visit Facebook/Cayman Culture for all the details. Yes. I am going. Definitely I am going.
Is this thing working? Give me some sound over here.
Every Monday through Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. Radio Cayman Super Jam Show, the #1 drive time entertainment show for your radio, featuring Will Sinatra.
Now, sound is everything.
Enjoy a mix of pop, hip-hop, reggae, and calypso, and an entertainment trivia section. The Super Jam Show is fueled by the proud sponsorship of the Cayman Islands Football Association. CIFA, building a better future for Cayman football.
Talk today.
But I do have some questions.
Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Extra.
Hey, good afternoon and welcome back. See, we're live already. It's almost like a rehearsal. In the studio, there's Susan hiding behind the wheel somewhere about. Sitting next to me, Mark Brown and Rita Stefanovic. You know, I will try hard not to laugh. Because, you know, I don't smile too much these days. You came on Christmas, Matt?
Good day, Mr. Sterling. Am I on? Let me test Rita's mic. 1 2 1 2. Okay, I'm here.
It's on.
Yeah. Good afternoon, Cayman. Good day, Mr. Sterling. For those who are viewing us via the World Wide Web, we just gave Sterling a costume change, his first official induction into the theater world, and he's looking good in the hat, Sterling. I must say, Santa would be jealous, man.
From the eyes up.
Yeah.
But that's it.
You look great.
Yeah.
Thank you. But
so what we getting this year?
What we getting?
Yeah, for Rita and I think we've put in enough work into the community now, and I think it's time
that Sterling rewards us appropriately.
Yeah, specifically him.
You in particular.
Yeah. So
actually, I don't want nobody to get this.
But we're not
I'm
picky.
gonna be very honest.
We're not picky. Whatever
Don't
you
worry,
got,
man.
Whatever you got.
Whatever I got, yeah. All right, I'll
That's
be
what
very,
Christmas is about, right?
Yeah.
Whatever you got.
Yeah, it's better to give than receive, huh?
Yes.
We
can go with that.
Yeah. Let's go with that.
No, this is Christmas time is a time to spend, man. Everybody know that.
Yeah.
Time to get that loan. Time to swipe your debit card. Time to go into some debt. Time when government
get Christmas
pay
lights.
Yeah, get your
home spruced up.
From the moment that my wife is always the first, to put out the wreath on the door, and we live in a complex, and she's the initiator. After she does it, everybody falls in line.
That's right.
So
I'm glad you can hear what Susan said.
Susan, don't be afraid to jump on. You're welcome into the show.
I've always
this remind me of jail. Susan on the other side behind the glass, I'm on a microphone. Susan, I want a file, and bring something. Bring me a book.
Yeah. You wanted to hear you? No, she said no.
So Susan and Sterling are talking through sign language.
Yeah. So this comedy show, right? Tonight in East End, I think is where you start.
Yes.
The home of comedy.
Because of Alan Ebanks or because of the politicians?
No, I mean you got fight up again. We got fight. Right?
Alan is a killer, man. Yeah. You know the one thing about Alan is that when you give him a script, you better ensure that is the final copy. Because it doesn't matter if you decide to edit and say, Alan, you know what, I'm thinking about changing this line. He will give it to you as you wrote it.
And don't improvise.
No, he learns that in 1 weekend, and that's what he's gonna come with. Yeah. You better edit yours to adapt to him. These are the greats, man. The great actors of Cayman. I feel privileged that I was born when I was, with the worldwide internet that we can distribute and climb out of Cayman. But these guys, they were in the box. It's and they swung the bat.
All right, so I'm glad you said. I was thinking about our earlier conversation with some students looking at, and you have some young people and their parents or their grandparents being say, "Oh, that's an old soul," and way before their time, they're wise beyond the years, and all these things, and they just seem to be not fit for that era. You obviously, this is your time. Rita and I think the 20s Rita is probably when you could see her, I can see her in Paris hanging out, with some of the greats.
Rita's a shapeshifter.
I like a duppy.
When she dead, she gonna come back. When you come back then, Rita?
I can still haunt you.
If you're lucky, boy.
She gonna haunt the Harquail.
Yeah, only if you're lucky. But I think that's the beautiful part about Christmas. The caller earlier was sharing about the Christmas breeze that we used to have way back when. Now, it's hot all year round, and only if you've been spending some months, extended months, where you don't see sun and it's always cold, you're kind of glad to come here to thaw out. But when you're here all year round, you can't get the air conditioning on.
Far enough.
Yeah. But Christmas, man.
Well, no, I saw somebody today in a sweater. I was wondering, I said, when...
Excuse me?
When is this Christmas breeze coming? Started my AC went out last month, right? I decided, let me buy the part online, right? Try, because Danny tried to give me $250 for AC compressor, and I said, no, my Danny, I'm going to hold on, man. I can handle this. I said, Christmas breeze supposed to be around. Sterling, I should have gone with Danny. December is rough, bro. Yeah. So, but today is the first day that I saw a sweater. So maybe this is it now.
There's hope. No, a couple of weeks back we had a little bit,
Yeah.
we had, and then it.
You got a little bit of couple of weeks back?
Yeah, I felt a bit of breeze, but I work by the beach, you see.
We're working in AC by the beach.
But I like it hot, man. Honestly, I prefer I prefer to be by the coast than in the mountains. I prefer the taste of the salt water.
Me too, but at some point you gotta get a little bit of breeze. Come on.
Yeah.
There's some times during the year when you really just feel like, okay, it's time to take a vacation.
Christmas and Christmas breeze, I think, go hand in hand.
Yes.
Now, you come to the show with Martin and Rita, and you have other players with you.
Leslie Ann Bernard, Eldon Chisholm.
Home run hitter.
And you're going to hear some familiar voices as well.
Yeah.
We got Patrick Lopez.
Yeah.
Leroy Holness.
You see, this is really this is kind of this is rundown. Let's be honest. This is rundown.
Christmas version
that I pulled together. This is really what it is. Let's call a spade a spade.
Well, what I like about it,
Ode to rundown.
That you guys
Christmas.
But when we talk about vacation, I went to Aspen to have a white Christmas. My wife and I. I caught some mountain flu. I went up there and I got sick for about a week. Then I decided cabin fever, altitude sickness, all kind of thing. Then I decided to heat up myself, so I started the fire. And then I called the front desk and I said it's very smoky, and they said
open the flue.
Yeah, they said, did you open the chimney? And I said, wait a minute. So they had to send a fire patrol round by my cabin to save the day, because I took out the whole resort.
You didn't write that into the script?
You see, this is the Cayman Christmas reader. Next year we're going to do the Cayman, the Caymanian that goes to Aspen Christmas. But this year, this is the Cayman Christmas.
I was expecting.
See, she's getting ahead of herself.
Yeah,
she's gone into part
if
to the annual shows.
You went outside and you found some fire sticks and made up a little smoke.
Bro, I like I said, when we call them Bic lighters. Respect to Mr. Big. I don't want to go back in time, Sterling. I'm looking towards the future. When I get 80, I want them to put some 3D reality on me. I'll be sitting down in my living room. When I want to go to Spain, I close my eyes and go to Spain. I'm a futurist. Yeah. Rita, she's a romantic, you know. When we talk about Cayman culture, she want to go back.
Yeah, man. I'm
talking about modern. This is a modern day Cayman culture. I'm either in the present or in the future.
So we make a good mix, because then we can fight about what to put in the script, what not to put in the script. Matthew, but remember now, it has to be authentic. Okay, Rita, we'll put it in.
She told me about cleaning floors with turbid skin.
Yeah.
Queenfish.
Cleaning the floor with a turbid skin, I said. Rita. Queenfish. And you want to go back to that?
Well, I'll tell you what, let's pause. And I think Susan's going to get... You ordered coffee and tea? I think she's going to...
Yeah, and hot eggnog and cocoa and all
so
that.
She's going to arrange that for us. She told Joelle. So when you come back, tell us more about the play. I know tonight gets underway, and then I think a special preview. And no, I'll just leave that alone for now.
We can sing with you.
Would you?
Yeah, we can. But you got to sing too.
I can sing, man. It's
Yeah?
so low you can't hear.
His voice deep.
Stay tuned for Talk Today. When we come back, more about Come the Show with Matt Brown and Rita Stevanovic.
Hey, did you hear about Penna's groundbreaking new lower prices? Over 350 of some of our top-selling brands are now reduced in price by up to 45%. Yes, 45%. For the best prices, brands, and service, Penha is the place to be for your holiday shopping. Visit Penha, number 40, Royal Plaza on Cardinal Avenue, Georgetown. Merry Christmas from Penha.
South Coast Bar and Grill up in Breakers, man, that is the place. For traditional Cayman cuisine, oh, you will love the taste. At South Coast Bar and Grill, we got conch and lobster and turtle stew. And every Sunday, come out with your family for the barbecue.
South Coast Bar and Grill by the seaside, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. daily, lunch and dinner. Call us at 947-2517.
For Cayman and cuisine, the talk today is South Coast Bar and Grill.
Hi, I'm remodeling our bathroom. I have a few questions.
Sure.
What are some ideas to make my bathroom feel larger? How do I know if I'm picking the right vanity? How do I choose a new toilet or a new countertop? Also, the lighting is terrible. Can I put a window or a skylight? And do I really need an exhaust fan?
You've come to the right place. At Brand Source, we custom design kitchen and baths, and our talented design team can help answer your questions. Whether you're looking for a modern, functional family bathroom or a luxurious personal retreat, we'll help create that beautiful space that makes your home yours. And if you're in a rush for a new look and have a limited budget, our ready-to-install bathroom vanities, built with solid wood and countertops of the finest materials, are a quick and easy remodeling solution.
For the very best in custom-designed kitchens and baths, visit Brand Source Home Gallery on Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park, Cayman's new kitchen and bath center.
Kubo Restaurant and Lounge. Cayman's only Pan-Asian restaurant and lounge is now open for lunch.
Taste the traditional flavors of Asian cuisine fused with your modern flair in Kubo's new sushi menu. With lunch delivery from 11 a.m. till 2 p.m. Monday through Friday, you can bring the Asian fusion flavors of Kubo and your sushi platter to your office today. Kubo Restaurant and Lounge is located in the Strand next to the eatery and below Lily's nightclub.
Now open for lunch. That's right, now open for lunch with a new sushi menu and delivery. Visit kubo.ky. That's KUBOH.KY or call 947-4513 to place your order.
Don't forget to tune in every Monday through Friday for the 7 a.m. news, brought to you by Cayman National Bank, proudly serving the Cayman Islands since 1974. Visit Cayman National Bank today for all of your financial needs.
Talk today.
But I do have some questions.
Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, good afternoon, and welcome back to Talk Today. Matt Brown and Rita Stevanovic
I feel like
joins
we're on
us.
the BBC, man. The intro that you, the intro that you come in with, Sterling.
How would you do it?
I just breaking news, man. That's
Yeah.
all like that. Every time I hear that, I like the world going in. Somebody stop it. So radio came on. Who did the production for that, man?
Yeah. So, what would you do? Fix it for us.
Fix it.
Yeah. What would you do?
For his show specifically.
Yeah.
For his show, well, Sterling, your character, the intro makes it the tone very, very, very serious. But you are such a lighthearted person. I would put some jingle bells up in there. First thing we need to do is to add some bells, and then
Make it seasonal, you know?
yeah, put some swanky music in the intro.
Okay.
You see?
Yeah.
And then
you want us to come help?
It's free.
We could work out something.
Government
Remember them
afford
gifts.
that.
Remember them gifts.
Yeah. Well, I got gifts to you, Matt, and that's for sure. But well, you know.
No, that's fine, Sterling.
He gonna get a lump of coal.
Yeah.
Matt been a bad
But,
But this is the gift that even if you've been bad all year, this is a free gift from the CNCF to you.
Yes.
Yeah, but that's the thing that I liked about this, you know, and maybe it's me, caller earlier, so I'm not quite sure if you old enough to remember, which is good because it's perfect to be at the age where you're too old, you know. But let's leave that. But the storytelling, right? The seafarers would come home for Christmas. If you were sufficiently involved, you could help with them mixing the libation, right? Huxing the coconuts and pouring the gin and what have you. And they'll assemble. There'll be food. There'll be laughter. There'll be banter. Now and again, there may be a fight, but hey, there's more entertainment, right? But there were stories and jokes that they would be telling, and their adventures and exploits, and sometimes, without any questions, exaggerations. But as the years went on, and they'll be chatting through the night, and there was always a good camaraderie. And I thought the fun. Now, I never paid the kind of attention that I probably should have paid if I knew I should have paid attention, and I should have paid attention, right? But your comedy show hopefully would remind us of the importance of assembling in our town halls and our civic centres and the school halls and the church halls and coming out and laughing together at what unfolds on stage, because you recognize the players, but you also hopefully can relate to the scenes.
Right, and we want to make it accessible as well. And that's one thing about the work that the Cultural Foundation does. We don't have Give Me a Story this year, but they felt also that it was very important that we continue to take theatre, the arts, to the districts. And so we're doing just that.
We got our break, Rita. You're wrapping it up, but to be honest, the foundation gave us a break. This is our big break, Sterling. We out of the gates now,
They trained us and now they let us loose.
They said, do what you want. They gave us creative freedom.
But is that how it should be, though?
I mean, that is how it should be. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I don't have to report to anybody. I don't have to it's efficient. That's what it is. And the foundation is actually a foundation that we can, as artists, can stand on. This is it.
The thing is, if I may ask, in that I like the arts. I love the fact that we will encourage and invite others from, whether it's in the region, extra region, whether known, international, whether they just aspire to come. But it's important for our country to invest in its own, give its own an opportunity to have a stage and to be able to, the little child, like, very young, goes into church and performs amongst the congregation of whom she's probably at least aware, at least should be loving and nurturing, could eventually grow up to be a great like Whitney Houston. Right?
Absolutely.
But if that child isn't encouraged and nurtured in that realm, how do you expect to throw it in a big pond somewhere?
Well,
we're not doing that.
I would like to say that you're standing next to Rita. She won the world title championship in acting this year. There's not like there's a couple of years ago and things have calmed down.
In Hollywood, huh?
She went on the grand stage and competed against the best and came home with our gold medal. This is the first gold medal that I am aware of. I mean, I give it up to the people that run around the Truman Baden and the swimmers that compete every day. But in all the realms of sports and whatever it is we're doing, Rita is the one who came back with gold. So, and she's from the foundation. Our good friend Grace Geely, what she is now? Grace Byers. I follow her on Instagram. When she puts out a post, over 100,000 likes. She came from the Cultural Foundation. So we have the skill, and actually we have the fans too. So we don't lack and want for.
We have the access to. Sometimes we don't think about it like that, But there are not a lot of places where you just walk onto the national theater stage.
Yeah.
I mean, just like I need to go do a rehearsal today on the national stage.
Yeah.
You don't have to drive 40 miles to get there. You don't have to catch.
It's nearly too easy.
It's it's right there, and we forget sometimes that we take these things for granted, and that there are lots of free and affordable arts programs for people to get involved in and get our kids in.
But is that a problem that we as Caymanians, and I say this carefully but respectfully, don't recognize, appreciate, we take for granted for those who, and I say this mostly from my sort of friends in the art community who are from other parts. They come here, like you said, the National Gallery and then the Cultural, theatre is right there. It's not that far away, even if you're living in the back.
And CDS
right?
too, yeah.
But in other big countries, you got an hour or 2 days drive. You can't even find the front door, and you certainly not going to get through.
And the competition is stiff
and
if you wanted to get into some of the programs that they might have as well.
But yet, here, we don't seem to, give the Matt Browns and the Ritas the opportunities. We don't celebrate the graces of the world. Right? We tell them like
until
we do
today, Sterling.
That's because we's all family.
Until today, when everybody changed their minds. Record this. What today is? It's the 11th.
Yeah.
The whole world changed on the 11th, and everybody said, "You know what? I'm going to go to the Cayman Christmas comedy show." So this is the prove us wrong. You know, come out, judge the show. So be like Simon. What was his name? Was Simon Cowell?
Yes.
No, I'm fine to be under scrutiny.
Yeah.
You know? You can come out and critique.
We quickly, right, can recall the names of all those from other places, right? But, you know, I reference Alan Ebanks and I think, on a personal level, I think Alan's a great talent, right? I haven't had to direct him, produce him, work with him, but sitting in the audience and watching him perform, and then see his little antics and he'll look at you, and you know if you're close enough that, okay, Alan, you were supposed to say it this way, but he thought, you know what, this is the way it came out, this is how it should be done.
Or the late, great Consuelo Ebanks.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
To this day, I mean, I can't really speak about her without kind of tearing up a little bit, but...
Well, her and Tony Rollins, I remember them sometimes.
Mr. Tony as well.
Right. And the talent that's here, the examples that we follow. And I'm hoping, as you share, that the people, listen, this time of year is incredibly hectic for everybody, from trying to get the foods prepared to attending the Christmas concerts at the schools or the churches. There's a lot going on. But for what, an hour and a half-ish, go out, spend, no money directly to get in, take your family and laugh at it.
Yeah, we should emphasize that this is a free show. And you don't need to cook Christmas beef. Buy it at Hurley's. This 2019, what, 18? I don't got no time for that.
Some of us enjoy getting to this time of year and spending the time doing the traditional things. This is Matt and I make a very good team.
She wants to go back.
Yeah.
She wants to go back and cook in a caboose.
No, what I want to do is preserve and go forward with that, so that in 100 years. My great, they still said, my great grandmother used to do this. And I do it like that too. With a twist, because everything changes. It does change, right? Oh, DJ Lynn.
Come on
into the show?
Yeah, come on in, man. Bring him in the studio. Hey.
So DJ Lynn, he put his Christmas beef in the microwave. No. I can see it from now.
No.
Let's ask him how he does it.
That's the fastest way to go.
The truth is, I let my mother-in-law do the cooking. Because she does it the best.
Come on, DJ Lynn. Join us, man. Thank you.
Hello.
Uncle Jesse? Yeah. Uncle Jesse?
Uncle Jesse? Yeah, he up in here too,
Uncle Jesse come to the show?
Yeah, he definitely gonna make it to the show, that's for sure.
Lynn, I like the mustache you're growing.
Yeah, and it's no longer Movember.
Oh, it's nice, man. It's nice for Christmas.
Oh, that's what that is?
Yeah.
It's like Movember extended.
The after party. I can't grow one, so I notice everybody else is. And the truth is that this is not the show that this is not the traditional Christmas story. We are not doing what I consider easy work, where you take Santa coming down the chimney and do this U.S. version of a Christmas story. You can get that on Hallmark.
I heard Santa going to take Uber this year. Is that true or no?
Santa taking Flex. This new one that the cabbie, what they call that's coming to Cayman. Yeah, Santa, we have a modern day rendition of the Cayman story.
All right, when we come back from the DJ Lynn, thanks for
happy to be here, man.
Yeah, man. Rita, if you can, give us a check. And tell us
I'll
more.
do my best.
All right. Rita Stavanovich, Matt Brown, and the comedy show starting tonight in East End. We want to tell you about it, and hopefully, so please stay tuned for Talk Today.
Radio Cayman. Radio Cayman's newsroom. These are the biggest stories right now.
The Department of Vehicle and Driver's Licensing starts sending text message reminders for registration renewals and launches a new mobile app. The DVDL has begun to send customers SMS reminder messages when their vehicle license is due for renewal. The text messages will be sent up to 3 times leading up to the expiry date, starting a month before. The department has also installed a widget to its website's homepage, which will allow customers to check if their new electronic license plate is available for collection by simply typing in their plate number. The website is www.dvdl.gov.ky. In news elsewhere, British Prime Minister Theresa May plans to travel to Dublin Wednesday to continue her whirlwind tour to rescue her Brexit deal. Downing Street said May will meet with Irish Prime Minister Wednesday afternoon following a cabinet session in London. May is in Brussels meeting with European Union leaders to seek changes to the Brexit deal she struck with Brussels in hopes of making it more palatable to Britain's parliament. In particular, she is seeking new negotiations on the issue of avoiding a hard border between Ireland and Northern Ireland, a key sticking point. May plans to return to Brussels for a 2-day European Council summit meeting there on Thursday and Friday. Under pressure from U.S. President Donald Trump and many of his Republican colleagues, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell said Tuesday that he will bring legislation to the floor to overhaul the nation's sentencing laws. McConnell's decision comes after more than 3 years of overtures from a large bipartisanship group of senators who support the criminal justice bill, including Senate Judiciary Committee Chairman Chuck Grassley and House Speaker Paul Ryan. Those are your latest updates here on Radio Cayman. I'm Shanda Gallego.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands. What's happening in your community? News and information, music and more. You can find us. www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Radio Cayman is your choice, your voice for today's biggest news. Radio Cayman.
Talk today.
But I do have some questions.
Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waging to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
And good afternoon and welcome back to Talk Today. And thank you for joining us. It is Christmas and Matt Brown and Rita Stefanovic joins us and they're going to have a Cayman Christmas starting out comedy show tonight in East End. Now, Susan was promised a song, she said, and she's not leaving you today in their RV unless you guys sing.
All right.
So, that's up to Rita. Rita is the voice, you know.
You're the face.
I'm the muscle.
Matthew, I understand, has recently won a competition. We didn't talk about that.
No, we don't need to talk about that.
Yeah, Matt is, and it was for singing. No. It wasn't for acting.
That was for Sing Jane, Rita.
Sing Jane.
Sing Jane.
Nonetheless, the point is, if I gonna sing, he gonna sing.
All right, well, you lead it away.
All right.
What are you gonna sing?
We could sing
Dashing Through the Sun.
Dashing Through the Sun.
Mm-hmm.
We could sing.
You don't even know the words, then?
That's true. We can have a screen up. By the way, it's going to be kind of like karaoke.
We just say, where them lyrics are now? I'm looking around.
People can come out to sing with us as well. We got a nice medley.
Yeah, at the end of this show, it breaks out into a music concert, you know.
Yeah.
And
yes.
And it's all the traditional songs remixed into Caymanian songs.
I know if Barefoot comes out, he can sing Santa Got a Sunburn with us.
Yeah.
Because I know he won't sing. But we'll do that. Don't worry, Susan. So let's talk about Matt and writing this show.
All right, let's talk about
what
that.
What do you want to talk about that for? People don't want to hear about that.
People want to hear all about it, Matthew.
People want to hear about that. This show is... All right, I met a man. His name is Daryl. Daryl came from Canada to the Cayman Islands. And Daryl wanted to produce a Christmas show. And I looked at Daryl and I said, Daryl, what in the world interests you, a Canadian, about Cayman Christmas? Daryl fell in love with Daybreak, right? And Daryl fell in love with Delissa and Edlin Miles when they did their Christmas program. This man picked up on a plane and flew across the half of North America to sit in my office to influence me about this script. And his original script had him, a Canadian, coming to Cayman and learning about Cayman Christmas traditions. What was the tradition? Sanyard, going to church, drinking sorrel, cooking beef, and all these things. So I said, Daryl, that's all fine and dandy. Give me the script. Then I put gasoline on it and remixed the whole thing.
Kerosene?
I put kerosene oil and diesel oil on it.
This is kind of like Christmas gone wrong.
Well, the premise of the show is a character. Think of your grandmother, but your grandmother is a bit miserable. She's short. She has a short fuse.
What are you smiling about?
She don't take any jokes, and she is caught off guard when a tourist arrives at her house to stay for Christmas because they booked it on Airbnb.
That's where it starts.
Sets up the show.
All right.
So, and Sita is the character that is sitting beside me. Get out of my yard. And the show continues with a bunch of tourists interacting with locals. Beside Sita lives somebody from Jamaica, which is very realistic.
Very colorful character.
Very colorful character that lives next door. And then also on Sita's, the other side of Sita's house is a church. But Sita don't go to church on the regular.
No, she loved Master. She loved Master. She loved God. But she just don't fool with going to church.
All them sinners in that church, huh? All them sinners in that church.
That's where the sinners go.
They need the help. I don't need the help.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's the concept of the show in a nutshell.
Yeah. We got our young boy. We got our young boy too. Our young boy that is driving up and down all over the place.
Oh, yeah, we got Taxi Driver in the show. He's the man that drops off the tourists, picks up the tourists, basically soliciting work.
And the cost of living is killing him.
Yeah, and that's when you hear... I think that you got some colorful characters that call into the show on the regular. It's the brutally honest Caymanian understanding of Christmas, but without all the frills and the
did he really say that?
Yeah. You're like, it catches you off guard first, but you really agree with him.
But no black garden or nothing like that, don't you?
No.
We got tourists listening. You need to give them the.
We're not. There are no expletives.
Right. Thank you.
No black garden. Yeah. Not a bit of it.
I needed that.
Right.
Where this girl going again? 1965.
1865.
She all gone.
And then there, we have a couple of other characters. Mm-hmm. Only 4 of us in the play, but we have 4 of us that you can see. Sometimes you just hear some of the other ones, and one in particular transforms quite a bit.
You remember Nutty Professor with Eddie Murphy?
Mm-hmm.
So Eddie was playing 3 or 4 characters. This is done very effectively in Japanese theater. They are very good at this concept.
Kabuki.
So I'm bringing this to Cayman. It'll be the first time. This is brand new territory for Cayman theater, where you have
says Matt Brown,
one actor who is on the stage when other characters are off the stage, but they are still involved in the current dialogue that is happening. So there are some technical aspects that happen. I was going to stop there. I had plans to bring out CGI smoke, lightning, thunder, but
next year.
There's room for growth.
All right.
When you tell Matt it's impossible, he says it can be done.
It can be done.
So we're bringing you something that
it might not be easy, but it can be done.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
The problem is that anything is possible.
He's a man of great
faith. If you got time and skill.
That's it, man. Well, we have a caller online. Matt Brown and Rita Stavanovich are our guests in studio, talking about the comedy show starting tonight in East End. Let's go to our phones. Good afternoon. You're on Talk Today.
Hello.
Hello, Mom. How are you?
I am doing wonderful. You are in the very good company of 2 of Cayman's finest.
Excellent company.
Performers.
Indeed.
And
yes.
you are blessed.
Amen to that.
They're good company, and of course they in yours. But good afternoon to Matt.
Oh, hello. Good afternoon. Welcome to the show.
Yes, darling. I said I hear that you got free reign with this show.
he oversold.
Free reign.
You can do whatever you want to.
Oh yes, ma'am. I got a license from Mr. Henry himself. He gave me
this is
the
going
key to
be
the kingdom.
Worth every minute that one sits in front of you. I'm trying to you guys, and I can only tell you that I look forward to being in attendance, one way or the other. Hopefully, somebody might be.
Where are you going to come out from? What district are you?
A stew beef and cassava cake and all that kind of stuff. I don't know.
You bringing out stew beef?
If that's not around, it'll be good to be able to listen to you and have a good Christmas laugh.
Oh, well, we can't wait to get on the stage tonight to start this show. But tell me about your Cayman Christmas. What's something that you remember growing up?
Well, darling, I'll tell you what happened. The first thing that just came to mind, I wasn't planning to tell you this, but anyway, maybe I was 5 or 6. I don't know if it was as much as 8. But up until that point in time, we always looked for Santa coming, racing across the sky with his sled and so on. So every time we saw a shooting star, my sister Treaty and I, usually the two of us were right together, and I had other siblings, but the two of us were just really close. So we'd kneel, and I think the two older siblings may by then have known more about Santa Claus than we did. But anyway, we were there, and my mother kept saying, it's getting late. You need to go to lie down, and, if he's going to come, you can't be up all night waiting, just looking over to the sky. Anyway, somewhat reluctantly, we came from the window by which we were kneeling, and we went to bed. And I don't know, it must have been 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. I just heard a little bit of rustling. And one of my biggest disappointments in life was seeing my mother putting the things in the stocking that we had hung up.
Oh.
And I was like, what? You mean this is Santa Claus is my mother and my father? And I was, to this day, it hurts when I think about it, because as much as I loved my parents, this was not their role in life. I mean, this was all
bad casting.
But anyway, I finally got over it. Hopefully no small children are listening to this program right now.
I said tell them all. Tell every last
I have
one of
a
them.
feeling most of them these days are very well aware.
They
It's
got
mommy
Google,
and daddy.
They can't.
My son questioned me the other day, Mommy, was I really sitting with Santa? That's a costume, right? Yeah. He really from the North Pole, Mommy. And he's 5, and we never talked about Santa or anything in the house. We just went about our business and just, they are all very, it's a different generation. It's, you feel like, oh no, it's ruining the magic.
If I may share something else, and then I'll get off the phone.
No, tell me.
One of the most rewarding times of all for me at Christmas was the local guys with their fiddle, guitar, drums, shakers, and of course their lovely voices going through every road, creek and corner in West Bay, and that's where I live, singing, and it didn't matter what hour they reached our road. We were happy to get up, listen to them. My parents and grandparents always had something ready to give them, fresh beef or piece of cake or a cup of coffee, whatever it was. And what a time. What a beautiful, beautiful time. Now, I tell you, when I get to heaven, I think I'm going to see something like that there.
Well, thank you for sharing that story.
God bless you. Have a good day. Enjoy it. May it be absolutely successful.
Thank you
so much.
My Christmas is a little different. When I think back to my Cayman Christmases, all of them were working for my father. We had a furniture store. Gifts are the difference. And Christmas is a busy season. So I don't remember no Santa. All I remember is lifting heavy boxes, knocking on people's house at 11 o'clock at night, and people come in their frocks saying, come in. Are you turning on lights and people cooking and drinking? And that was back to back. At least as long as I can go back in my memory. And that's the thing, is that it's different for everybody. So I don't plan to recreate everybody's childhood memory, but you're gonna get another one. I'm gonna make somebody's childhood memory. They're gonna remember this show.
All right, let's pause. Take this last break. When we come back, we'll talk today.
Don't let a dingy house get you down this Christmas. Spruce up your home for the holidays. It's Christmas at Super Stitch. Head over to Super Stitch and see the wonderful selection of fabrics, curtains, sheets, towels, quilted bedspreads, rugs, bathroom sets, and more. New stock has just arrived at Super Stitch. Telephone 949-2833.
Merry Christmas!
Opening hours 8:30 a.m. Monday to Friday, and on Saturdays 8 a.m.
For more than 30 years, Rotary Central has worked along with our business community, business advisors, media, and schools, introducing over 500 students annually to the universe of business. Students are guided to create, operate, and deliver products to market. Today, thousands of Caymanian business professionals point to junior achievement as their introduction to business. When you support Rotary Central fundraisers like the Music Extravaganza, you support Cayman's next generation of business professionals. High schoolers learn human resources, sales, marketing, accounting, compliance, legal skills, manufacturing. Cayman's next generation business professionals find purpose and get inspiration through Rotary Central Junior Achievement programs. Junior Achievement, another inspiration project by Rotary Central.
Oh, this Christmas, Kirk Freeport is wishing everyone peace, love, joy, and $40,000 in prizes. Win one of the multiple $5,000 and $1,000 cash prizes just for shopping at your favorite Kirk Freeport store. Purchases of $100 before noon on Christmas Eve qualify for all remaining prize draws. There's even a Rolex watch prize draw on January 2nd, and loads of other great prizes. Peace, love, joy, and the island's biggest Christmas sweepstakes. Only from Kirk Freeport. Full details on kirkfreeport.com. Merry Christmas from Kirk Freeport.
You can hear another CI Retro Talk Today special presentation on Friday at 12:15 p.m. when we take a look back at Cayman Islands' Christmas celebrations and traditions through the years, going back some 150 years through present day. This special CI Retro Talk Today presentation is being brought to you by Four Winds Esso, Enterprise City, and FSH Designs. CI Retro Talk Today, Christmas Remembered through the years, Friday, 12:15 p.m. on Radio Cayman.
Tune in every Monday through Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. for Radio Cayman's Super Jam Show, the #1 drive time entertainment show on your radio, featuring Will Sinatra. Enjoy a mix of pop, hip-hop, reggae, and calypso, and an entertainment trivia section. The Super Jams show is fueled by the proud sponsorship of Merengue Town. It's time to feel the rhythm, time to feel the vibes. It's time for Merengue Town.
Talk today.
But I do have some questions.
Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, good afternoon and welcome back to Talk Today. Thanks for joining us. And in the studio, Matt Brown, Aridia Stevanovic joins us, and on behalf of them, an invitation to each community to come out, be a part of the comedy show starting tonight in East End. I believe we have a caller, and I think also in the kitchen some cake, but let's go to the caller first. Hey, good afternoon. You're on Talk Today.
Yes, good afternoon, Sterling, and good afternoon to your guest.
Afternoon, Mom.
Yeah,
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
You all do a very good job with your plays. Very, very good. I came to the Harkle and saw a few of them.
Oh, thank you very much.
And I like your commercial there where you say, I'm in a play.
Oh. That's Sita. She don't even realize that we're dragging her out.
But I want you to repeat that before you leave the show today.
Oh, yeah.
Why I'm calling for it is because the lady that's calling talked about Christmas and Santa Claus and gifts and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
And she was expecting a real Santa Claus to come in and deliver her gifts for her under her tree. And apparently her mother and her father was doing all the gifts delivering under the trees.
Mm-hmm.
I am 62 years old. I have 2 children in all girls, and I have never, ever tell my kids there is a Santa Claus who's going to bring your gifts for you. Your Santa Claus is your mom and your dad and your aunts and your uncles and so forth. And then they would get the gifts early before Christmas. You know, they go around dropping off gifts before Christmas Day, and some come Christmas Day. Well, they would always say, "Ma, can I open my gift now?" I say, "Yes, you open your gift and you can wrap it back if you want to put it out."
Yeah!
You can wrap it back
First time I hear
if you
that.
want. You can open it, and if you want to wrap it back, you can. If you don't, it's okay, because tomorrow is a promise to none of us. So go ahead and open your gift. So they may have one or two open on Christmas Day if they would deliver on Christmas Day. But during the time of delivery down the week of Christmas, I tell them, open them up, because tomorrow is not promised to nobody. And I never did believe in telling my kids that there is a Santa Claus. My son is 33, my daughter's 27. Never did believe in telling children there is such a thing as Santa Claus, because that needs to stop. We need to stop living in this fantasy world about Santa Claus, because it's not true. And kids fall onto things like that. I got a grandson 4 years old, and I tell him that the Santa Claus is mommy and his daddy and me and whoever else in the family and his friends, they're going to give him a gift. So I'll leave you guys with that.
All right, well, thank you for calling in. Yeah.
Matt, you enjoy making fun of people. I hope you don't put me on that stage one day down there.
He might be there quicker than you think.
Thanks, Mom. Thank you.
Thank you.
You too.
Yeah, and you can, to everybody, do what you want. You have creative license to tell your children whatever it is that you want, be as serious or as... And, what we do in this show is that we showcase other cultures. So this is not only the Cayman Christmas show, but we give you the Jamaican version of Christmas. We give you the Italian version. We give you the Indian version, the UK version. And what you'll notice is that there are things that line up and things that don't match. So it is... like, for example, Santa Claus, that's Christmas Baba. When Christmas Baba is coming, that's the Indian man. Yeah, hear about Christmas Baba. Yeah, and see that one man from Baba, from West.
I know Baba. You know Baba too? Gee, I know Babash too.
Baba, they got a couple of Babas around here.
And the thing that I like, which Miss Rita, maybe you can share, but we say it starts tonight in East End, but you go through. So give us the dates. Huh?
All right. So we're starting tonight, as we said, East End. It's at the Civic Center. 7 o'clock we're starting. Then tomorrow night, that's the 12th, we're going to Northside Civic Center. Thursday we'll be in Borden Town at their Civic Center. And then on Friday we're taking a little Christmas break. Saturday night we're going to be in West Bay at the Sir John A. Cumber Primary School. And then on Sunday we will be in South Sound at the Dart Park.
Outside, huh?
That is
interesting.
right.
Yeah. It's so typical that we can't even work for a week straight. Even a week. Even in a Christmas show, we're taking a Christmas break. So Friday, don't go anywhere. Don't get excited on Friday. But Sterling, I stepped into the East End Civic Center for the first time.
Which one?
What's it called? Rita, help me out. You're the cultural one.
We
because there's two.
Yeah, there's two. So actually, which one?
John McLean Drive there.
All right. When you
McLaughlin, Susan?
Yes, that's exactly the one we're doing it at.
Look for some tall, pretty condos on your left hand side. They're blue and yellow and red, and then right beside it is a road, John McLean Drive, and a big hurricane cell to shine. So I've been trying to get up there all day to put up the signs.
Yeah, call Nobi, man. You can help you.
Yeah, Nobi tried to put up a sign. But that's where we're going to be tonight. And it's a beautiful, beautiful space. It's the inside of a ship. When you walk in, it takes you back to some Cayman maritime heritage. Oh, Eldon sent us a message.
Oh, he listening?
Eldon said, Matt, I'm so sorry I couldn't make it. This is he talking about right now. I've been so busy. Please forgive me.
No, you're picking up people in that taxi.
You think I'm from the Catholic Church? Please forgive you.
You better just be there tonight.
You better.
We forgive you now. We're not forgive you later. So we're doing, as we said, it's the Cayman Christmas Comedy Show.
Right.
It's Matt Brown, myself, Rita Stavanovich, Leslie Ann Bernard,
Yeah.
Eldon Chisholm.
Just one second. Leslie is a Jamaican. So if you have Jamaican connections and you want to really feel the Jamaican Christmas,
or if you love Jamaican humor,
then come out. Also, if you want a UK Christmas, then you can rely on me because I'll be playing that character as well. So it doesn't matter where you're from. This is not only for Caymanians. This is for anybody who wants to learn about Cayman or learn about other Christmas cultures.
But the thing is, and maybe we'll do it after, because in an attempt to people understand how important the arts to our society. But the amount of work that you put into this, not just the rehearsals, but the preparation. You glanced over and just glossed over it slightly. You have to do this. You have to, do the script and get the rehearsals. And there'll be, I know you guys, there'll be some good,
No, you won't go into the work, Shelby. Go into the work. You see me today, I'm dressed like I'm going to the gym because there is manual labor involved. There's set construction. There's cinder blocks that need to be moved. And then there's the artistic work. And this is really what I like about art in general is that it's a reflection. It's a mirror. So you as a citizen of this island, you come out. If you don't like what you see, then
chances are
there's some deeper work to be done in our community.
And the thing is, you go in from district to district, you're using the civic centers, but each production requires you to set up. And this isn't a formal theater. You're using a space that is multi-purpose in a sense, right? And I like that part. You're going to come and it's going to be a primary school play on steroids, so to speak.
Well, I'm glad you think of it so highly. The Dart Park. The Dart Park is a beautiful stage, and that's going to be on Sunday. This is going to be the first time that we're outside, so we're going to deal with the elements. But if I'm looking forward to mashing up all of the civic centers. And
don't take that literally now. Because this play, you could go there. We're gonna keep them intact. Don't worry about that. Thank you, Miss Francine. Thank you, everybody, all the Civic Center representatives that are dealing with us in and out of the places.
Oh, are we having Mr. Alvin Kong Soup tonight? Rita?
Tonight we got Kong Soup. How could we not talk about food? This whole play is about food.
You're right.
When you think about it. Mr. Alvin has another engagement, so he won't be present. And of course, he's an icon from that district, even though he lives Koo Road. But but we gonna have his Kong Soup.
Yeah.
Oh, and that everybody know that's award-winning Kong Soup. So my dad are gonna be serving it. Thank you to parents still at this age and relying on my father, right?
That's the meaning of Christmas.
So he's from that side these days. So he's going to come and help us. We're going to have a couple of volunteers from the Cultural Foundation come up, purchase a little bit of Kong Soup, reasonably priced. The show is free. That's important. The show is free.
It's cost to leave.
Yeah.
Once again, we start passing on a collection plate. Dig deep now.
Donations are accepted, but the show is free. And each night we're going to have either a PTA or an individual from the district selling some refreshments, light refreshments. So come out. The show is, you won't be there for 3, 4, 5 hours unless you want to stay with us and help pack up, because we do have to move. We have to move. Every night we got to go and set up in the next venue.
We got things to do. This thing starts at 7. I get
8:30.
8:30, you going home?
Going home.
Wrap up in your bed.
Children can still come out. Yeah. And last week of school now, no?
I think so, yeah. Well, some schools I know get out the following week.
Okay, so all right then. You can still get them home to bed.
Yeah, but exams will be over, I think.
But it's kind of like Christmas time, right? We can stay up a little later and...
Yeah, you don't need to go and work Christmas. Take a day off, man.
Pretend about working for private sector?
Yeah, just pretend.
This is lighthearted. This is fun. People always say, "Wait, can't do rundown 4 times a year?" Because we have full-time jobs and not enough hours in the week to do it all. But if you love rundown, or if you don't know what rundown is, but you know it's something popular clearly because we keep talking about it, been going on 25 plus years, must be by now. Come and see it. This is Rundown at Christmas, a school play on steroids. We could go down the list of things that this is. And we can tell you what it's not. It is not Shakespeare. But we love Shakespeare. We're just not doing it this night.
Well, Leslie Ann Bernard is a drama school teacher herself. Trained thespian. Rita holds the world championship gold medal right now for acting. Eldon, he worked by DOT. He all right.
And he's a Chisholm. That will count for something.
Eldon is a Chisholm.
And Matt Brown, what can we say?
Everybody.
Writer, producer, G-Zum, Sans Entertainment, host. We know.
All that,
So
we know what we do.
You sound like a bum.
He all right.
I meant BOMB.
Yeah, he's a bomb.
They sound like a bomb.
I thought you meant BUM. I was just checking.
No.
So we were talking about that the other day. Some days you see those people that just kind of enjoy life.
Yeah.
They're sitting on the beach 3 o'clock in the day drinking beer.
Or 8 o'clock in the morning.
Or in the morning you just
stressed.
drive across and be like, I wonder what confidence it takes to just say, guys.
How many people work, 40, 50 years, get to that point that they might be able to do that.
That's the dream, right? That's the whole point.
We might be doing it all wrong.
Yeah, they're going first.
Yeah, but maybe.
We went wrong.
Clearly,
somewhere.
we're under a lot of stress.
Yep. Well, listen, man.
We're going to bring you a great show. Come out and support.
I hope the country comes out. And not just
they don't need to support it, to support the thing free.
Support the conch soup.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Support Alvin,
the moral support, man. Come out in the audience and laugh.
Yeah.
And,
7 p.m.
Yeah, 7 o'clock every night.
Yep. East End, North Side, Borden Town, Break, West Bay, South Sound.
What's like a song?
I know. I felt like I was going in that direction,
I thought you were.
Yeah.
Now, what about that song to close us
beef and keen peas, shopping your butcher knife. Shopping your butcher knife. Shopping your butcher knife. Beef and keen peas, shopping your butcher knife.
Okay. I'll give you that much.
Come out to the show, Sterling.
La Puele Benzone. You see, that's Italian Christmas, I'm not ready for that.
No.
They're not ready for that.
All right, well, you're going to laugh more, and you might be able to even get into mass production going forward. You're always looking for good talent. If not, you can do by that.
We're waiting on you.
Oh, no. 2 things I don't accuse myself of. That's one of them. But God's willing, I get to at least, I'm hoping to get to 2, but we'll see, because I'm interested.
No, don't come to.
No.
It's the same show. It don't change.
No.
Don't come twice.
Right.
Come once.
I'll tell you off air what I was thinking. I'll just go here. The one in the outdoors and like the amphitheater and being outside. It's always something in the elements, right?
Mm-hmm.
I just happen to have
the set might fall down. That might be
it might rain. It might be a cold. Going to run down.
Break right apart.
You never know. So if you're in the district, go to your civic center. I understand that many people leaving work at 5, going to East End can take them 2 hours to get there.
So you might as well just stop in and spend an hour with us.
Exactly. So it is a challenge, but go with your family, man, and enjoy it.
Yes.
And you guys do a lot of good work, and I'm hoping to laugh with you come Saturday at East and West Bay.
Thank you for having us here.
Thank you so much.
Always,
to
man.
CNCF,
Always a pleasure.
Radio Cayman, for our family puts up with us. Thank you.
I have to, accommodate Matt because, your good brother Neil, so it's always important.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The whole government coming out.
The government is involved in this.
Government is involved. The government is
definitely involved.
You see, we're giving an inside joke when you come to the show.
The Cayman Christmas Comedy Show.
All right, starting tonight, East End, 7 p.m. at the Civic
Free!
Center. And it's $3.99, so easy, cheap admission. All right, tomorrow, for the record with Mr. Art, and then come back for Talk Today after the midday news and midday meditation. As usual, our prayers for you to be blessed.